Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Provost Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning.
Hey, look at that. Your microphone was already rocking and rolling.
Awesome.
You know what's not rocking and rolling, though? The camera.
Nope.
But it will be. We're just doing a little extra setup this morning. Karen and I, we won the lottery this morning. That's why we were running behind.
Yeah, if we won the lottery, I have a feeling we wouldn't be here.
She said, don't put me, don't put we into this running behind. That was me. There's no me and we, or no we and me, right? It was my fault. It's one of those fun mornings again where, have to go to work at 6 a.m. I'm just smiling.
Yes.
And those are always fun on Daddy. I'm thankful that my wife has a great job, but, man, it makes for a very fun morning, especially start to the week. And normally it's not a big deal, but on a Monday morning when I was up all night studying stuff and getting caught up on my college and, I told you this morning my esophagus is coming out of my throat from heartburn today.
Then Braylon didn't cooperate. She wanted different shoes and clothes.
Had it all ready. I love both my children, especially my little handsome Ham, right? He just turned 2. And Caden's so easy. Like Bridget told me last night or this morning, she told me, she said, hey, I got to go in. And she said, here's some clothes for Caden. They're already in a bag, like new ones. That was perfect. I just ripped it open, put them on. He was good to go. Slight diaper change, if you know what I mean, like a little, not a rough diaper change.
Right.
If you know where I'm going
yes,
with that.
I do.
A simple one. Those are always good. A very simple one is always the number one.
Yeah.
You don't miss any of that, do you?
No,
Karen?
I don't.
Do you have grandbabies?
No, I do not.
No grandbabies. One day, if you do, are you gonna be happy to change diapers again?
Oh yes, I will. Yeah, I'll do that.
Have you ever had to change any other diapers for anyone?
Oh yeah,
like any little
friends, kids, and stuff. Yeah.
Oh man,
it happens.
I babysat for the neighbor when I was younger. She used to run in the Boston Marathon, and so she'd train for it all year. And she'd call me up, and she'd always ask, "Hey, I've got to go run this morning, and so can't come over. Can you come over and watch the kids for me?" And I think at the time her little ones were probably, I want to say 3 maybe 3 and 8, something like that. And I said, yes, Miss Woodside, I'll do it, but I won't change any diapers. I'll never forget I told her. And she said, don't worry, it's only going to be for an hour. So I never had to change. And was it Tristan? I think the little boy's name was Tristan. And she told me, she said, don't worry about it. I'm only going to be gone for an hour. And so every time she'd call me, she'd pay me $20 just to come over there and hang out with them for an hour. And I never had to change a diaper.
Yeah, that's good.
And I guess the 8-year-old, what was her name? Brianna? One of those. I can't remember. But they were just sweet kids. And apparently, like, Brianna could help the brother, too, if she needed to or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's so weird to fast forward and, like, I only remember, I know I did it probably 5 or 6 times, but I really only ever remember going over there. I can only remember maybe once, and it was very vague. You know, it's weird how your mind, you can't, you know that you did something, but you can't remember when you did it and all that weird stuff. I guess that just happens as you get older.
It does. Right? It definitely does.
I want to challenge you this morning, Karen. I've got a challenge for you.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Sure.
Can you remember? Well, let me rephrase this. Do you I can't even get it out. What is the first thought that you remember? What is the first thing that you can remember ever? Have you ever thought about that?
No, I haven't.
It kind of blows your mind, right?
Yeah.
It really gets you to start thinking. So that's going to be a challenge for you this morning as you think about that. And a challenge for our audience this morning is, what is the very first thing that you can ever remember? And I can remember mine because I've thought about it a lot. So I'll tell you mine in a little bit, but I want the audience to chime in. And if you just kind of go back and think about one of the earliest memories that you have, maybe one of the first things that you can ever remember. And there's a few things that pop into my mind. But I started thinking, and wouldn't it be cool if we could somehow recall every single thing that we have ever taken in?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you can't remember what you did yesterday.
No,
so
I can't even remember. I'll get up and go into the kitchen and forget why I go. And I've made some mistakes that I probably shouldn't be making at, well, now 41, but I mean, even in my 30s. You know, I'd put stuff in the fridge that made no sense. One day I was looking for my car keys. You know where they were at? In the fridge.
I've done that before. They've been in the freezer.
Why? Why would
Just in a hurry. We're in a rush, and you're getting something out, and you put those down to grab something else, and you forget where you left them. You have to go retrace your steps.
Have you ever lost a wallet or anything really valuable like that?
No, I don't think so.
I've
misplaced my keys a bunch.
Oh, that's the word. I mean, when you misplace, it never fails that when you're in a rush is the
always.
days that you misplace your keys. And there's times, I was going to Learning RX for a while. Not Lisa Branch, but the other Lisa.
Roberts.
Lisa Roberts. Yeah, was my trainer for that. And I learned, and it helped me a lot. But I'll never forget her telling me to think about what I'm doing. Like, I always know when I come in here, I always put my keys on that table. And if I didn't put them on that table, and I say I put them on that shelf, which I did one morning, in my mind, as I put them on that shelf, I tell myself, don't do that.
Right.
You'll forget where you put them. And then what happens?
Or you tell yourself, remember you put your keys right here.
Yes.
And then you forget. Yep.
It's just, there's like things and routines that you need to be in. And to this day, I don't know how Bridget, sweetheart, I just want to say I love you. Thank you for sticking with me for 11 years, because I don't know how that woman puts up with me. I'm serious. She will tell me stuff, and I'll say, yeah, no problem. And then it just goes, phew. Last night, perfect example, she said, hey, don't forget, take the car seats out of my car and put them in your truck just in case you need to do it. Well, of course, and then today I needed to take the kids. But she told me, she said, take them out, put them in. No problem, I got it.
And you didn't, you forgot.
Forgot. And, and then she gets the call and has to go in this morning. And so she messaged me, hey, you forgot the car seats. I told you you'd probably need them. And then another thing that happened yesterday, as we were leaving church, she said, hey, can we go air up my tire? This was while we were driving. Yeah, no problem. Went and ate at Yummy Yummy. Oh, I love Yummy Yummy. You ever eat over there?
I don't.
That's my favorite place, Karen. Oh, man. They got the Bearcat Raw. I eat over there. You can get out of there 4 people under $50. I'm always happy to eat there. But we go over there and eat. And then what did I forget to do? Air up her tire.
Air in the tire.
So she tells me, she asked me last night, hey, did you ever air up my tire? No, I didn't air up your tire. Well, I'll go air it up. So I get the compressor out, pancake compressor. Bought it at Home Depot 15 years ago. Get it all lined up, get it ready to go. Turn it on. Guess what? Don't work. And I was just, and then guess what? All that rain came in out of nowhere. So I get on Amazon, buy a $9 part that should be in today, so I'll fix the air compressor. Here's another fun thing that's been going on. The city came out, and I'm not upset at them. They had to do their work. I was a little frustrated that I wasn't told what was going to happen, but I've gotten over that, okay? The city does a great job. Those guys work really hard. So
They do work hard.
I'm not knocking that at all. I'm just not used to the process because where I grew up, if they were going to do work, they always they would knock on the door the day before and say, "Hey, we're coming by," just to give you a heads up. So that'd be my only feedback. I'm going to come to a council meeting. That'll be my feedback. Public input, right?
Right.
But a polite public input, not a angry. Why didn't you do this? People don't know unless you give ideas.
Right.
So I wasn't frustrated. I was a little bit frustrated, but then I got over it. And I was like, "You guys are doing your work." So what I'm getting at is they had to put in a new fire hydrant. They got it all put in, and I'm thankful because it's right in my yard. And I remember when we first moved in, Bridget's like, "What's that thing doing here?" I said, "That thing is going to save up some money on insurance. Is what that thing's going to do. Because if you've got a fire hydrant within X amount of your property, guess what? Your rate goes down." I don't know. A lot of people may not know that. So when you redo your insurance policy, figure out how far away a fire hydrant is and let them know that you're close to one of those things if you are, because your insurance will go down from that. So they get it replaced, but they had to kind of go through. I mean, what happens when you replace a fire hydrant? Your yard, right? There's nothing. You can't fix that. Well, I had taken out my irrigation back in February. I'd cut it at the house, 3 pipes, because the main water line, the people who put in the irrigation, this wasn't the city, this was the professional irrigation company, who I have no idea who they are, but they thought it'd be wise to put all 3 of my irrigation lines over the main water line, mind you, under a fence post that already had concrete. The fence wasn't built. You could tell that they'd put all this in after. So, of course, what happens? The main water line, something happens. They didn't seal it. They didn't put primer on it, so the elbow broke. And that's not the city's fault. That's the plumber. I found that out. So one day I wake up and there's a geyser going off in my yard.
Oops.
I didn't know that there was something called a leak rate with the city. So if you call and you you just be polite and say, "Hey, man, I didn't realize this happened, but my water bill is a couple $100 higher because my water was leaking," more than not likely they're going to help you out.
Yes, they will.
And they did.
Yes.
They credited me back that.
Yes, they will.
Because I was polite. I didn't know they had that. So ask about the leak rate if you ever have a leak, and they may or may not work with you. They worked with me, so I didn't end up having to pay an extra $200, which was very nice. But in the process of getting to that main water line, Karen, I had to break through all three of those irrigation lines. So I never replaced it. I said I was going to replace it in the spring, but I haven't had to use my sprinkler once.
We certainly haven't needed it this month.
It's been raining
Every day.
day.
Yes.
And tell your story. You were on the patio yesterday, and then what happens?
Oh, yeah. It was all nice and sunny and very pretty outside. And Russell had gone to the store. We were going to a friend's house that has a pool, so we were going to hang out at the pool.
I was about to say I knew a pool was coming up.
Yes. So, it was so bright and sunny and just gorgeous outside. So I go in, get my bathing suit on, go outside and sit out with the dogs for a minute waiting on him. And then all of a sudden, this huge gust of wind. I mean, it blew stuff off the patio table.
Was it like a cool gust, too?
Yes, it was. It was just weird. And then it kind of turned dark looking outside. So it was kind of spooky.
And then out of nowhere, boom, lightning, and all that happened. I kind of fibbed on my story. I got excited and I fibbed. The storm didn't hit when I was in the middle of trying to air up the tire and the compressor broke. The storm had already passed. I left that detail out. I just remembered. See, I forgot.
Yep.
I went by the new Dollar General Market.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You said you were going to go check it out. How is it?
Man, they have name brand meats and everything in there.
That's nice.
And it's not that expensive.
And that's the one on 190, right? On the right? Mm-hmm. You're going out of town.
Why do they, on one map, it called that Old Phelps Road, but that's not correct. Old Phelps, doesn't it turn off of it?
Years ago, it was called Old Phelps. 190 used to be Old Phelps Road. But then there is another Phelps slab that goes off to the right down there.
So, yeah, it's the new one off one. It's like 16,000 square feet, Dollar General Market.
I haven't been there yet. I need to go check it out.
Yeah, and they've got everything in there. I walked out with stuff I didn't need.
Of course.
There was
they count on that.
Well, there was like some little LED Bluetooth speaker for $10. I don't need that. But I thought, that'd be cool for Braylon. And then I'm looking, and then what do they have? They have a $7 LED color changing light bulb. Guess what I thought? Oh, that'd be cool for Braylon. Mm-hmm. I walk in there.
And she could probably care less.
No, she loves the light
Oh,
bulb.
did she?
Yeah,
Okay.
I put it in her lamp, and she learned how to do the remote, and she was flipping through all the colors, and now she'll probably sleep with that on every night because she likes the pink one.
Yeah.
And it was $7. It's a tiny. It was really weird. I didn't think it would fit. It had the right thread or the right screw on it or whatever, but the top of it was really small, but the shade still fit on it and everything. So I have a really cute little lamp I have in her room that I got at Niche and Time Antiques. And yeah, she loved it last night. She was like, "Can I leave it on, Daddy?" I said, "Yeah, if you want to. I don't care. It's a little purple, but it gets kind of dark. You can make it dark, so it wasn't like it's
Yeah.
like a little nightlight." Anyway, she loved that, and I got popsicles over there, and she was talking about that all day. Because I told her on the phone, I said, "Braylon, you don't get any popsicles unless you take a nap." Because I was gone, and Bridget was trying to get her to go to sleep, and so she finally went to sleep when we told her that she took her nap.
Anything for popsicles.
But Karen, what the point of this story is, I had no reason to go to that place. It just popped into my head. Bridget and I had taken separate vehicles to church because I had a bunch of stuff to unload here after service yesterday. And I leave. I get everything unloaded, and it's like 2 o'clock. We went out to eat, and then we went over to eat at Yummy Yummy, came back, got my truck. She left with her car, unloaded everything. And then on my way, I said, I'm going to stop by the Dollar General Market. And I was thirsty. So I was really just going in there just to look. But I got like a little sweet tea or something, which was $1. Normally it's like $2.50 at the gas. The same one's like $2.50 at the gas station. And then all of a sudden I walked by a row of Hanes 2XL white T-shirts. I said, I need some new undershirts. So I grabbed those. And then there was
Went on a little shopping spree.
Yeah, there were some tube socks, the old school white socks. I wear those with boots because I don't like wearing the ankle socks with boots. So I was like, I only have like 2 pair of those white socks. So I got some of those. And then I saw the popsicles, and I bought those because I knew Braylon would want them. And then I could use that as like, you need to go to sleep type tool. Mm-hmm. And then as I was walking around, I saw other things. Something popped into my head about, oh, well, man, that sure is a nice shelf that I could buy. I didn't buy that. Don't worry. It's how
Bridget, don't let him loose again.
No, because I'll buy the dumbest. And I walked out of that place with only really wanting to spend $1, and I spent $49 more than what I anticipated.
Yep. But it was a good deal, right? So
I guess
justified.
Feel about it. Somebody had told me over the weekend. They said that I don't shop at the Dollar General. I said, why not? And they said, well, they steal from me. I said, what do you mean they steal from me? They said they add in a few extra cents here and there every time you buy something. So I need to look into that because it's never happened to me. I've always had a good experience with it. So, well, anyways, a lot of you are joining us. Thank you for catching. That's your catch up here on Monday. It's our Monday catch up. You can throw that on your hash browns to get started on a Monday morning. I do want to welcome you in as we get rolling. Big thank you as always to Elliot Herzlich. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Set up that appointment. Go see my great friend Elliot Herzlich. And, of course, here on episode 548, we are inching 2 more to 550. That's coming up on Wednesday, but today is Monday,
Non-Mimosa Monday. And I saw Val this weekend, and I said, you got to watch Hello Huntsville because we mention you every Monday.
Is she still? Do they still do any of the tap truck or any of that?
She does still have the truck. She is still offering it. They're trying to sell it, but until then, if you have any needs for any mobile bar, give her a call.
Well, you need to tell Russell to buy that thing. Just park it out there
Right,
at y'all's place.
absolutely.
Just have it out there in the driveway.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate on this episode 548 our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. As always, Karen Denman joining us here this morning and continuing to promote and celebrate the good happening here in Huntsville. Something kind of funny. I don't keep up with a lot of sports anymore. And even when I did keep up with, even when I used to broadcast sports, I didn't keep up with them. I guess that's ultimately why I didn't really, didn't settle well in Fargo. Honestly, I mean, I did good on the sports broadcasting stuff, but when it came to our sports show, I don't know. I thought I'd be super interested in all that stuff, and then I realized I've got a little girl at home, man. I don't have time to sit around and watch ESPN, and I'm not knocking anybody if they do, but some get so into that.
And golf. That is the most boring thing to watch.
I agree, Karen. Can you hear my clap? I don't even, golf is one of those things that I'm sure if I learned how to play, I would enjoy it because it's kind of relaxing. But I'm so terrible at it that if, people, it's supposed to be one of these great networking things. If you're a businessman, you go out and you go golfing, right? Mm-hmm. And I've known a lot of great businessmen that have went out and golfed and learned a lot. For me, I would probably lose business if I took someone to go golfing with me because I'm that bad. These guys would be like, man, and this guy can't even hit a ball. Is he going to even be able to not swing a deal home? You know, it'd be horrible. And now I understand why in Elkins some of these people have these screens over their property that live on the golf course.
Oh, yeah, because the balls will go flying.
People like me, I've hit them. You know, I've lived out there we've had our house off and on now, I guess, for 3 years out there. And I say off and on because there was that stint where we were gone for 8 months. But we rented it out. We were able to go back to it, thankfully. But, yeah, I've only went golfing one time. And that's part of your membership, your dues each month.
And they're not cheap.
No, and they keep going up. I mean, since we've moved out there, we bought that house, I guess, February 3 years ago. And I'm thinking of the math. You know, our monthly dues have went up $70 a month.
I believe it.
3 years.
I believe it.
And I said, man, if you're paying an extra $70 a month, then you ought to build a gym or something and let people go out there and at least have a gym for people to go work out in or something.
Well, you can use the pool. You take the kids to the pool?
No.
Oh, well, you should do that. At least use that much of it.
We go to the park all the time. And we knew going out there. I did the math, and somebody was telling me, like, well, man, you know, the HOA is really steep out there. But I did the math, and it's not that much more expensive than what I was paying for my house in Georgetown with the old mortgage that I had. So financial-wise, it wasn't that much different for us. But yeah, it is. And I can only imagine now, Karen, if somebody buys a house now, those payments, if you don't have something put down, which I think a lot of it you're required to anyways, but the payments nowadays on a home have to be pretty steep.
They are. Payments on anything, a car too.
Unless you get a good rate at our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union.
Absolutely. Come see us.
Yeah, our golf cart ain't that much at all. I'm like, y'all just give us that thing? By the way, I took it on the 4th of July and put it on a
were you
trailer.
in the parade?
No, well, the parade didn't happen because all that rain came in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they canceled.
Did we see each other last month? No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
I was here last week.
Did we talk 4th of July? I don't even know if we did. I don't remember.
I was here the Monday before 4th of July. And we went to Port O'Connor that weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we took the golf cart down with us. That's when all that flooding hit.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
And
you
took
it down to the Lake Buchanan.
Yeah, Lake Buchanan. And you know, the lake it's been pretty dry down there. Unfortunately, overnight, some more really torrential rains have hit that area, including Kerrville, as they had flood warnings again this morning. Another 4 to 6 inches of rain has fallen in that area. Karen, it's just been devastating. Nothing like what happened, you know, and it's weird. We sit here and we fast forward a week and my goodness, look at the tragedy. As you and I sat here on Monday, I mean, we heard bits and pieces, but we had no idea until the week progressed what is going on. Just some tragic stories out of that area. We had an opportunity last week, and I did want to highlight this briefly. So many people in Huntsville came together. I haven't seen, and I don't mean this in a rude way, especially here in Huntsville, because people always come together. But I'm talking about at least on a scale to where I'm out and about seeing people. I haven't seen this type of unity since 9/11. People are coming together all over the place.
Yes, they are.
Putting all their stinking political differences aside, which they need to, and just focus on helping each other.
Right.
It has been phenomenal. We took up items here at first, but we partnered with many other so many churches even. I love when churches come together, especially. You know, we're all in it for one reason. And so many churches came together. And one of the first calls I got was a guy named Reverend Jeff Powers. And with a name like that, man, I want to rename myself to that, you know.
Yeah.
I want my name to be Max Powers, though, not
Max Powers.
Max Powers. But Reverend Powers called me up from Christ the King Methodist and said, what can we do to help? And I said what we were doing. And he said, well, instead of us trying to reinvent the wheel, let me just let our congregation know to come donate and help you guys. And I said, that's great. And because of that type of unity, and it wasn't just them, it was Northside Baptist and Elkins Lake Baptist. They all started in Cook Springs Baptist. There's many other churches. First Presbyterian. We got a whole slew of blankets that we were going to take, and we started receiving feedback saying we don't need that right now. And we found organizations that did need stuff, by the way. It wasn't people were saying stop accepting items. No, we had a 26-foot U-Haul.
Yeah, and if they don't need it today, they are going to need it, so it's good to have it.
It is, and we found places. We identified people that did have the need, that did have a means to store it if it was an overage. So we donated in Georgetown, which wasn't a whole lot there because they they had a lot going on, but we did end up donating. A lot of tools came in from someone at the Ace Hardware here.
Very nice.
Very nice. I think somebody bought like $500 worth of stuff, and then I think Ace even donated $500.
Yes, they're always so good about that.
So we were able, as soon as we got there, I said, we have some things we'd like to bless you guys with. I said, I heard through a friend of mine that y'all need it. And she said, well, we're wrapping up the cleanup efforts, but it's going to be, there's still a lot that we're going to have to do, but we're wrapping up the main part of it today. And when I opened up that truck bed and showed her all those tools and shovels and wheelbarrow, and her eyes open and she goes, can we use that? I said, you can have it. She goes, we do need that. And we went over, and sure enough, I mean, as soon as I dropped it off, there were people taking those rakes and starting to work. I mean, shovels, right away, people were using it. So it did go to a good use. The Georgetown location was the only one that we didn't really have definitive, hey, we absolutely need this and this. But a friend of mine was working on the ground there. 2 RV parks got wiped out. And she said, yes, we do need some stuff. But the other 2 that we went to were San Saba and San Angelo. And we had direct contacts in both of those communities. San Saba, it was First Baptist Church San Saba, and also the San Saba Church of Christ. It's kind of cool. They're right across the street from each other. And they did a coordinated effort. And so when the truck got over there, and we tailed behind because I was in my truck, so we were an hour behind the U-Haul the entire way. Jeremy Wine and a guy named Jim Beam. You're like, it's good man. That's his name, Jim Beam. Great guy. Love Jim Beam. He goes to our church here, and they were driving that big truck, and I felt bad because we never caught up to him. I told him, I said, we're probably going to be an hour behind y'all, and I got excited because when they got to San Angelo, we were about an hour behind them, and I said, well, we're going to be there in about an hour, and Jim goes, all right, we're going to wait on you, man. And so they were joking with me. And then whenever we pulled up, we saw him at the distribution warehouse that we had coordinated with the guy named Ernesto there. And Jim goes, oh, hey, buddy, they just closed down everything, and we're going to go have to unload this somewhere else. I don't know what we're going to do. And I was like, oh, okay, well, sorry, man. You know, he's like, yeah, we got here a little too late, and we were waiting on you guys because nobody else was here, and one person came, but they already locked everything up. And they said, we can't take nothing else. And so I was kind of sad. And then he goes, just kidding. We already unloaded it. And I was like, man, we didn't get to unload nothing with you guys. But we did make a stop over at in San Saba as well, because I was in my truck, and we did stop over at a pregnancy care center, kind of similar to here, and bless them with a ton of baby stuff, clothes.
Yes.
Chrissy Cogdell with First Touch Family also caravaned with us there, and so she and I were the ones that were kind of running, an hour behind with the other guys. But it all worked out, and we've realized something, that San Angelo needs a lot more help. There's over 12,000 homes, Karen. 12,000 homes.
And I didn't even hear about.
Nope.
That's one of the towns I never heard about or saw in any of the posts or anything.
Yeah, there was pictures that Ernesto had sent me, and then we ended up seeing some damage firsthand. I mean, these houses were underwater. I think there was a viral video floating around of a gentleman that was on hospice, and that was up in that San Angelo area. The poor guy was in his hospital bed, and the daughter, and the daughter was saying, "We need help. Please come help us." And the water was up under his bed. This gentleman was on hospice, and someone did. They were able to get them out, and it's just, it's like I said yesterday. You have no words, especially when it comes to little ones. You just don't understand, and you don't have any words. But it is a time that, our community, even here, we can all come together and we can all help each other. Because I guarantee knock on wood, I hope we never have to go through anything. We've had floods here, but nothing like this is going to go down as one of the most devastating natural disasters ever in the state of Texas. I mean,
Yes,
this will rival the Waco tornado back in the 50s that just leveled Waco. This will rival the Galveston hurricanes back in the 20s. There's going to be a lot of change. I think there's going to be a lot of good that comes out of this, and unfortunately, there's always tragedy before there comes good, it seems. And sometimes we don't see things put into place until something happens. I think that there's a lot of finger pointing going on, but now's not the time for that.
No, there's definitely.
There will be a time for that. There needs to be.
Right.
They're
but
absolutely.
right now it's not it.
But not right now. Right now, they're still recovering. They're still missing over 100 people, Karen. We had a friend here at church, and his daughter is down there in the recovery efforts. And the things that he told me, I won't retell them on this show because it's just things that you don't want to hear. And I'm talking about the recovery effort, if you know where I'm going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to describe the things that he told me that they're having to go through there
Yes.
to find people. But what I will say is there's a community coming together, and that's in Kerrville. But there's people there was lives that were lost in Williamson County, along Sandy Creek that runs into Lake Travis. That area wasn't getting hardly any notice at all, or any notification from the media at all, and they're hurting bad. In fact, a lot of people in Georgetown said, we're wrapping up as quickly as we can here because we want to get down and help those people, because they found 2 more people over the weekend down there that had passed away.
Wow.
So I say all this because the encouragement, if you can find any through any of this, is to pause and take a deep breath. And I talk so much on this show, Karen, about how we live in our own little worlds. And we do. We have our own little bubbles, right? Especially on a Monday. We get up and we're like, oh, man. I get up and I'm like, here we go. Monday.
Here we go again.
Wife got to go to work early. I got to get the babies. But, all those things I'm thankful this morning. And I had a different attitude this morning, even though I knew I was going to be running behind. Normally I'm kind of upset and I'm kind of raising my voice and I'm just stressed out. But I had a different attitude this morning, and the attitude was, Lord, thank you that I get to wake up with these little ones, and that I get the opportunity to be late today.
Right.
Because some people will never have that opportunity again. And it just really does put things in a whole different attitude and viewpoint. And so maybe that's where you're at this morning. Maybe you're going through something unimaginable. Maybe you're hopping onto this down the road. Somehow the algorithm detected what we were talking about, and maybe you are one of those people that's going through unimaginable loss. I just want to encourage anybody this morning to remember what we do have and to be thankful for what we do have, because it can be gone in an instant. And when I say thankful for what we have, I'm talking about people in our lives. I'm not talking about material things. So many times when you hear of a tornado hitting an area or a flood or a fire, one of the first comments that people will make is saying, I lost everything, but I have my family. Mm-hmm. People end up not even, do they care about the things? Yeah, of course. Anybody would if they lost their house. But that's irrelevant whenever they look at their family and say, you know what, but I got my little one, got my wife, I got my daughter. I think out of all of that, one thing that really stood out, the stories are starting to come out now, and the Texas country singer Pat Green, you know Pat Green, he used to roll around with Kevin Fowler and all that rowdy bunch. I remember my first concert, in fact, I ever went to was a Pat Green concert. It was at Stubbs Barbecue in Austin. There was maybe 50 people there. They called him Fat Pat back then. And I was in high school. A young lady I was dating just absolutely loved him. And so, of course, I was trying to impress her. So I was like, yeah, let's go to the Pat Green concert. And I'll never forget, man, we got there early, and there literally 50 people were only there. I mean, it wasn't even that big of a deal at all. And Kevin Fowler gets up there, and that guy's rowdy as can be, and they start busting beer, and it starts flying all over me, and I'm only in high school. And so, of course, I get home. My dad rips me a new one, thinks that I've been drinking. I said, Dad, I didn't. These guys went nuts and started spraying it on everybody. That was kind of like the birth, I think, of back then of like this Texas country, I guess you could say. I mean, I know that there was other styles of it, but for my generation, that was like what I felt was the birth of this new style of whatever you want to call Texas country. But what I'm getting at is the stories coming out of Kerrville now. Pat Green's brother had passed away in this flood. He passed away, his wife passed away, and their 2 sons. They were staying in an RV, didn't have time to get out. And their daughter was at another area, and Karen, that poor little girl is okay. I say poor little girl because
she's lost her
whole family, her mama, her daddy, and her 2 little brothers. And now that little girl's going to have to grow up. I don't want to say on her own because she's got family. But that's just one story. And that one stands out, obviously, because Pat Green people know him and know of him. And just to hear that. But then so many other stories. I heard a story of someone that we're connected to here, apparently a little girl was on the phone as it happened. and that little girl didn't make it. And so just want to encourage you this week to find out ways that you can help and just love on people. We're going to have more information. We're going to spend some time again this week identifying some more needs. As a community, we're going to adopt a couple of families. Instead of just saying, hey, here's 20 to you and 20 to you and 20 to you, which will help, we feel that it's going to go such a deeper way and a more meaningful way if we can just identify a couple of families that need help. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to adopt a couple of families, and then we're going to partner with some organizations. We're still getting information on who and where because we don't want to just go in and reinvent the wheel for this. But there are some organizations that are going to send volunteer help with the cleanup. And so I want to encourage any guys out there, and even any ladies that would like to be a part of this, just let me know in the comments here on this broadcast today if you have any remote interest of physically going to San Angelo. That's where we're going to be helping. If you'd like to go to San Angelo and help with the cleanup effort physically, there's going to be opportunities. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I know some of it's going to be putting on rubber boots and getting shovels and scraping out homes. They're already doing some of that. But some of it may just be cooking food and helping to provide meals to people that are working. Someone there in San Angelo said this. They said, we're so thankful for all the help, but we know when the cameras that are here now, when they go away, 90% of the help's going to leave too. And it's not a negative thing. It's not that people are just there to help to be on the news, because I don't believe that's why people do it at all. They're not there to get recognition. They're there to help. But when the news and the media does leave, people think that those areas are now
That everybody's okay.
that they're okay, and that's not the truth. This is
Right.
going to go on for months.
Oh, absolutely.
So don't worry. There's going to be time to help, but we'll keep you updated on it. Well, let's take a break. I got a few more things I'd like to go. I know I've been rambling on a lot, talking a lot, but let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about ways that Walker County Federal can help you and your family right here in our community. No keyword this week yet. I'm still working on getting some more cards from Cafe Texan. You know, I was going through my drawer at home, and I had a Cafe Texan gift card, and I thought maybe that was one to give away. But I scanned it, and it wasn't one to give away because it was a $50 card. And I remember somebody had given me a $50 gift card.
And you haven't used it yet?
No, I didn't even realize it.
Now you know where to go to breakfast next week.
So we're going to eat at Cafe Texan. Karen, we may have a live show there on next Monday.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, we'll take a brief break. We want folks to let us know that you're out there this morning. Folks such as our good friend, Mayor Humphrey, with the official Let's Go Huntsville.
Oh, yeah.
And Karen, you were right.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We need to get Russell to record some stuff for us.
Yeah, we need to have him on the show.
Russell could easily be Cooter 2.0 with that voice.
Yes. He's got a radio voice, for sure.
You got it, Russell. We need to use that thing. We'll take a brief break. Let us know you're out there this morning, Huntsville, and what you're thankful for as we continue on, as always, every single Monday, brought to you by our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. We'll be back after this. Stay with us. More to come on a
Non-Mimosa Monday.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success, too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Imagine a voice of hope reaching every corner of Huntsville, from homes and hospitals to prison walls. That's the heart of Spirit Radio. We're a truly local 501c3 nonprofit, and we're raising $25,000 to build our tower and get on the air. With your help, we'll broadcast encouragement, truth, and the love of Christ across our community and across the world through the Spirit Radio FM app. Visit spiritradio.fm and give today. Let's bring light to Huntsville and beyond together.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville. Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today. Braylon, say, "This is Spirit Radio."
This is Spirit Radio.
All right, friends, welcome back on this marvelous Monday. A marvelous, majestic,
non-mimosa Monday.
If you don't know what that is, you'll just have to go back a few hundred episodes.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to say
and Val, we're counting on you.
Val, yeah, we need you. 77 today. How about 96% humidity as you're getting up this morning? Many of you, of course, already up. If you have to be at work at 8 a.m., well, we probably find another job because you're late, unless you bring breakfast tacos. We were just talking about Delphina. If you're watching out there, Delphina, please. I know you can do it. You are so talented. You're such an inspiration for business owners, especially rentrepreneurs. Can you call restaurant?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. Rentrepreneur.
Yeah. It sounds kind of raunchy.
Yeah. Would you say restaurantpreneur? I guess.
Yes.
Restaurantpreneur or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you are an inspiration, Delphina. I got to tell you, please find a way to get this taco truck going that you and I have been talking about. I've been telling you for years now. You've got to get a taco truck and just do like potato, egg, and cheese.
Just a few choices.
Bean and cheese.
Yeah, have them already ready, and those people just ride around, especially to the credit union.
Yes, especially here to the church. We're here early, so chorizo and egg, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Get that going, Delphina, and I think you would have double the revenue just from them breakfast
and play
tacos.
A little music like the ice cream truck.
Yes.
Or play some salsa music or something.
Yeah, play a little salsa, play a little Johnny Canales. Did you ever hear the Johnny Canales story with Delphina and I? Do you know Johnny Canales?
I do not.
See, this is what helped me acquire numerous friends in San Antonio for Orion and Corpus Christi in those areas. Johnny Canales was a Tejano music organizer down in Corpus. He had a show called the Johnny Canales Show, and so when I first met Delphina, I asked her, I said, "You know Johnny Canales?" She goes, "You know Johnny Canales?" I said, "I used to listen to the show growing up. It only came on one channel, and we had antennas at our house. We didn't have cable."
Yes, same.
I never understood anything he said. But I remember watching Selena. He is the one who helped Selena become famous when she was 14 years old because of the Johnny Canales Show.
Oh, okay.
And so Delphine always jokes around now. She'll send me a random text message. She'll be like, "What do you know, Johnny Canales?" She calls me Johnny Canales now. And his most famous line was, "You got it, take it away." And so every time I see Delphina, "You got it, Delphina, take it away."
Yes.
But if you get those breakfast tacos going, I'm telling you, you got it.
Yep, and she'll even serve breakfast tacos for lunch or dinner. So if you're not doing anything tonight, come join us for trivia, and you can have a breakfast taco.
Get there at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Get there at 5:30.
Yes,
and
get you a
eat.
good seat because it does get pretty crowded on the trivia side.
I want to let people know that it's really hard to – you can nibble, but you can't really eat during trivia because it moves quick. So, I mean, you can. I'm not discouraging you. Order food, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you're not going to be focused on your food. You're going to be focused on the trivia. And if you're like me, your brain is horrible. And, again, Karen comes around, oh, you're doing so great. And then she kind of turns around and goes, these guys are terrible.
I do not.
But you won't have time to eat because you're thinking about, man, what's the answer to this question?
Right.
You know who comes over there that I just absolutely adore, who I think the world of, is Kelly Cruz.
Yes.
From Rita Beach. She volunteers at Rita Beach. She is such a special lady.
She's there every Monday. She's on the team called the Chameleons, and they do very well. Very smart group of people.
Yeah, they're dominating. I mean,
and Kelly's sweet.
She's one of the sweetest, yeah. Well, I said earlier 77 today as the temp right now. We'll get up to 93, more rain in the forecast. To see that trend is going to continue, by the way, just rain in the afternoons and evenings.
Yes, it's just every day it's been raining. Just a very, very wet July.
I'll kind of take it because I haven't had to mow the lawn once. I mean, mowed the lawn more than once. I haven't had to water the lawn.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to water it, but, yeah, it's growing.
It's growing for sure. There is a tropical disturbance, too, that is starting to get some traction down in the Gulf of Mexico. Some of the forecast models have potentially put this thing – it could be anywhere. Right now, it is right off the coast of Florida. There's a 30% chance that this thing is going to form into a tropical depression or tropical storm. Only about a 30%, but once these things start hitting about 30%, they tend to form, Karen. I was looking at this from the National Hurricane Center. The reason I bring this up is some forecast models here in the next 7 to 10 days have this thing in the Gulf of Mexico right outside the Texas coast.
And, there's a hurricane, they put out all the names of the hurricanes and everything that are expected this year. There's a Hurricane Karen.
Hopefully that one doesn't come over here.
Hopefully not, because the name Karen already has a bad rap anyway. So
we're fixing that rap here on this show.
Yes.
By the way.
And every person I've talked to, when I say my name is Karen, but I'm a good Karen, they say, I haven't met anybody that's a bad Karen. So
yeah, me either.
Yeah,
I've never even brought that up with you, not once. Never. I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think of you that way.
Yes, thank you.
Good Karen.
I'm a good Karen.
What was it? Where was that? Where was the Wicked Witch and the Wizard of Oz? Where was she from? The West or something?
Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah. You're the good one of the East, or
right?
The good Karen of the East.
The good Karen of Southeast Texas.
We'll make T-shirts and sell them.
Right.
I'll sell them out the back. If things get rough, I'll be selling pecans and T-shirts out of the side of my truck. But no, so just keep your eyes alert on the Gulf. This could be. I don't want to just sensationalism and get people all rowdied up, but I'm telling you, this would just not be good if this thing has the forecast track that some of these European I don't know why they go with the European model.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of that in the weather?
Yes.
But those models tend to be based on history. They're pretty accurate these days, and a lot of those European models do have this thing turning into some sort of a tropical storm and moving possibly onto the Texas coast here in the next week. So just stay alert. We do not need that anytime soon.
No, we don't.
At all. I wanted to go back and, we're talking about all this rain. Lake Buchanan, where I was at this past week, 2 weeks ago on the 4th of July, that lake had been pretty dry for a couple of years. The latest this morning, because of all this rain now, that lake is, I think, around 97% full. That's even more than when we were there. So the lakes, if there's any positive thing to take away, that the water source in that area is starting, they've been under some pretty serious droughts for several years now. I don't get into conspiracy theories and all this, but I want people to stop with this cloud seeding business. Okay, they're saying that cloud seeding is what's causing all of this.
I saw a post about that. Someone commented on that the other day. I didn't really know what that meant.
There's some sort of like ionized something that they've been doing this for years, but whenever there are clouds and they need rain in areas, there are planes that will fly into the clouds and drop chemicals into the clouds, and that will help those clouds produce rainfall.
Oh.
But it's not going to produce torrential. All of this moisture came from that tropical storm that hit the Mexico coast and moved into Texas. And so, man, there's so much misinformation. I know a lot of meteorologists, and they've all said, please stop sharing this garbage. This is just one of those weird natural things that happens. People think that people are manipulating the weather and doing all this kind of stuff.
If we had that kind of power, I mean, really?
Exactly. If we did, it's just, you got to, again, take a breath and quit spreading false information, because there are people, even people that I know, that believe this stuff. There are people that are spreading AI images of, one of them was Sean Hannity from Fox News, and he was wading in the water, he was handing water to people while he was in the water. And people shared this and said, how compassionate. There was one of, and he wasn't there. There was one of George Strait hugging somebody and said that he had given millions, and people were sharing, oh, George. Trust me, George Strait's got a good heart. I'd love that dude, but he isn't down there wading in the water, hugging people. There was another that said Jelly Roll has donated $50 million.
I saw that one.
False. Not true. And then the most disturbing one was one of Jelly Roll at one of, and this one's terrible. It was one that was at one of those they AI'd an image of him at a funeral, and he was singing at this little girl's funeral, and they even put her picture on there. And people were sharing this like wildfire, saying, oh, look. And I'm like, if you just look at the image, you can tell that it was fake. But people are sharing it and promoting this stuff. Stop doing all that. It's a simple Google search will tell you if something's true or not most of the time nowadays.
Google knows.
Yeah, Googlina knows. Well, Karen, I know we talked about some of these events. I know today's just kind of a talk it through Monday, I guess, if you will.
To get ready for the week.
What do you typically do to get ready for the week? Is it just kind of go in? I mean, what does a Monday for you look like? I've never asked you that question. Besides what we talk about in the
getting
morning?
Up extra early to come do this, and then just, business as usual.
Is there a day at Walker County Federal Credit Union that seems like maybe it's busier, that people are conducting more business? Is it kind of sporadic?
It just depends on, the time of the month. Of course, the 1st, a lot of people get paid, and some on the 15th. So, Social Security is a busy day. And so it just depends on, the day of the month. People, you typically have more calls. And
I wanted to highlight, as me being a faithful customer from you guys. In fact, I'm sitting here thinking right now I need to make sure that some money goes into my account, because y'all start debiting stuff, and I may have an NSF on something, because I realized I paid my mortgage over the weekend, and I'm like, oh, hopefully that didn't go through right away. But I did want to say, y'all are so easy to work with. I know you and I get on here.
Really are.
We get on here on Monday and talk about a lot of random things, but I did want to highlight how easy y'all are to work with. Anytime I've had any questions, any concerns, and y'all offer all the services that I've ever needed. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, when I first came to Huntsville, that's why I stayed with a big bank, even though they didn't have a location here, because I was under the impression that these smaller banks, I didn't know what a credit union was. I thought it was like some elite club that you had to be like a VIP.
People think that smaller, local community banks and credit unions, that we don't have all those things that the big banks do, but we do.
Y'all have all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who really, of course, I got to know you guys in the community, but Brian Adams.
Yes.
I don't know if this is violating HIPAA, but he won't care, so it's okay for me to say. Brian Adams has been a faithful customer of y'all's for a long time.
Absolutely.
And I'll never forget, Brian and I were traveling, and no, you know what it was? I was trying to get him to buy some cryptocurrency. This is what it was. I was trying to get him to buy some crypto stuff, all right? And his card was declining. And he goes, well, they take real good care of me over where I bank at. They don't want me to get scammed. And he's like, is this a scam? I said, no. It's just kind of a weird thing that you have to go through. And y'all's technology was blocking his. And that's when I heard about y'all for the first, that I really understood.
If it's something out of your normal train of activity, you'll get a notification to ask you first, is this yours or not? So that, we know whether to accept it or not. Decline.
Yeah. And that was the eye opener for me, though, because I was like, well, here's Brian, and he doesn't have like this huge business or any of that. And I started asking him, well, how do you have a membership to the credit union? What is that? And he goes, it's easy, man. You just go in, and as long as you live or worship or whatever here, then you're good to go, man. And so I can remember the very first interaction. That was it about you guys was knowing Brian Adams, and it's been so good to us. In fact, I did a bill pay the other day. I had to send some money to a person, and he had worked for me and sent me an invoice. And it was so easy because I went to y'all's online bill pay.
Right.
And he doesn't live here in this community, and he doesn't do Venmo or Cash App. I would have done that, but he doesn't. He's old school. He's like, I don't do any of that stuff. So I was able to use bill pay to send him a check, which was really cool.
We have that too.
Yeah, super cool. Y'all have all the services. So I want to encourage you, go to Walker County Federal Credit Union on Normal Park. Let them know you heard about us here on Hello Huntsville, and they will take excellent care of you. Karen and the whole crew over there, they do such a great job. So go by and see them. Let them help you with everything that you need to do in your financial world. If there's something they can't do, I promise they will set you in the right direction. Well, before we wrap up, we will have some prizes later this week. I'm getting some more gift cards in this week from Cafe Texan. But before we wrap up, I wanted to circle back to that question we started with, your earliest memory.
And I haven't even been thinking about it. So I don't know. I mean, there's stories that your parents tell you, and I guess you've heard them so many times you think you remember it, but you don't because you're little and you don't know. So I really can't think of anything.
I was thinking a lot. This isn't like the first memory, obviously, but I remember one time there was a go to work with your parent day. Well, my dad did furniture upholstery at the time, and he had a shop at the house, so I got to go to work with Dad. I got to stay at home. But he made it like this huge, big day, and so we got up early. We went and had breakfast, and then we went to work. He didn't just let me sit at home. We went to work and did the whole nine. And I'll never forget, though, my dad, when we were in his workshop, and it kind of breaks my heart because there was some things that he had said, and he said, he goes, one day I'm not going to be here anymore, and I want you to remember this. And I can't remember what it was. And I kind of teared up the other day. I was thinking about that, because I lost Dad over a year ago, and I was sitting there thinking, what was it that Dad told me? But I remember him saying, I'm going to tell you this, and I don't want you to forget it because one day I'm not going to be here. Now, there's other times that he said that I do remember things. But as we were preparing for his funeral a year ago, I was trying to think of songs because there was even times he said, now, one day when I'm not here anymore, I want you to play this song.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what they were. But
I've written it down.
Yeah, and that's what I would encourage people. If somebody says, one day I'm not going to be here anymore, but I want you to remember this, write it down.
Write it down.
I thought about all this, Karen, because I was going through some voicemails. I have like 3 or 4 different what's called voice over IP lines. And I've got a phone that you plug into the Ethernet. And I hadn't plugged that phone in 3 years, honestly, since we moved. Now, I still get the voicemails through my email, so it's not like I'm ignoring them. But when I plugged that phone in, all the notifications started pouring. One of those phones said, you have 100 new voicemails. And I deleted all of them because they were all spam. I knew this particular number I used for sports, and I knew it was all spam. But there was one that I have that I use as a rollover number, and my dad had that number. And there was only like 7 voicemails. One of those was from my dad.
Neat.
And I got to hear it, and it was my dad
Still
saying,
hear his voice.
Yeah, he was like, hey, son, I was just calling to check in on you, let you know I love you. I started tearing up. Heard that the other day, and it just meant, and I saved it. I didn't want to lose it. I saved it. My earliest memory that I ever have, and I asked the audience this too, and I don't know how many of you responded on this, but my earliest memory that I have is when I was a teeny tiny baby, and my mama would put me, and I can visualize it to this. It's so weird, Karen. I remember my mother laying me on the countertop and putting a towel on the sink. And we had one of those old school yellow sinks. You remember like the ugly yellow with the chrome trim around? That's the sink we had. And we had the yellow Formica countertop.
Yep, and probably avocado green appliances, refrigerator and stove.
She had me laying on, and I'll never forget. And there was a window above the sink. And it's funny to this day. I'm like, if you have a kitchen and you have a sink, you need to have a window above your sink. Because I thought of my growing up at my mom's house. But I remember her laying me on that. She would get a towel and she'd lay it on the side of the sink, and that's how she would wash my hair in the sink. She'd lay me down and wash my hair, and I hated it. And that's probably why I remember it. But I remember, and clear as day, and I was probably 2 years old, maybe 3. That's how vivid this is in my memory. But I remember laying there, and I remember looking up, and there was this box that was on the side of the cabinet. It was a little small box, and that box was where she had knives in that box.
Oh.
And it was just different knives. And it's so weird to think that for some reason, I remember all that in vivid detail. Now, it wasn't that she pulled the knife because I was screaming, boy, you better be quiet. That ain't why I remember the knives. But isn't that weird how you remembered that kind of stuff?
Yes, it is.
So I don't know what y'all's earliest memories are, but think about that as the day goes on and try to remember your earliest memory. It's something that will really get your brain going. Well, hey, before we go, I do want to do one quick thing. You got maybe just a couple more minutes here, Karen. I know we got to get rolling, but I want to throw on some music here. We haven't done this in a while on a Monday.
Credit union cookies.
Credit Union Cookies. Brought to you by Walker County Federal Credit Union. No, we're playing the music. You hear that music a little bit? It's your time to shine. Jamie Saucier joining us. Hey, we're praying for you, brother. We love you. He and his beautiful wife, Nina, they are such
They are very sweet people.
Wonderful people. Jamie, always good to see you. He's joining us. Kyle Kreiner saying good morning to us. Jennifer Augustinetti, she says it's a marvelous Monday. Good to see you this morning, Jennifer. Phyllis Dillard joining us today on this Monday. How about Quentin Glaze, our number one engager, with us, saying good morning. Do you know Quentin?
I do.
You do? You know him like in person?
I think so, yeah.
I've never met him.
Yeah,
Quentin,
think I do.
I need to meet you in person, man.
Yeah, you need to come on the show.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Next Monday.
Autumn Wheaton joining us. Good morning to you. Hey, check it out. Look who's on here.
My mom.
Mama Daly joining us, saying good morning to you. Hey, some new folks joining us this morning as well. This is Barbara Sager, and Price joining us, saying good morning.
I know Barbara.
Well, good morning to you, Barbara. Good to see you on this morning. Jennifer, by the way, earlier saying that she put dish soap in the fridge before.
Oh.
We were talking about stuff you put in there. El Turpinning out of New Waverly joining us. Good morning to you. Mayor Humphrey. Oh, yeah. Good morning again, Mayor. Phyllis was saying this earlier. She said, always else it could be worse. Usually you can look around and see a lot worse than what you're going through. And so she said, be thankful. That's really good.
Yes.
Really good for this morning. Richard and Linda Horn joining us this morning. Good morning to you. Kyle Kreiner also saying, let me know when I'm off. That's cool. He said, let me know on my days off. He's talking about if we go and do stuff. He said, maybe I can pull out the pit.
Yeah.
You ever had the Kyle Kreiner?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It is very good.
All right. Well, that'll pretty much wrap it up. I did want to say one last thing. Today, by the way, there was some national stuff that I was looking at, Karen, that I thought you would like. It's national. Where are we at? I had it. National French Fry Day today.
Oh, that sounds good.
You like a good French fry?
I can be down with some French Fry Day.
National Mac and Cheese Day today.
Yep, that sounds good too.
That's National Nude Day. Nope, not today.
Oh, not today.
National Tape Measure Day. Collector Car Appreciation, and Grand Mariner Day. Those are all the day. It's also Bastille Day. It's a great day to storm something. I guess that means like you charge some. I should probably read through these before I start talking about them on
and that's also Trivia Day. So y'all come see us tonight, 6 o'clock, rodeo. Get there a little bit early. Get you something to eat. Get that mind working.
I do want to one other story that I saw this morning that I did want to mention, Karen. There was a man that he filed for divorce over his wife. Can you guess what happened? Now, it wasn't like she was seeing somebody else. Nothing like that. Take a guess of why.
He didn't like her cooking.
No, apparently some secret spending was going on here with the wife.
That'll do it.
A man has decided to end his marriage. He discovered his wife secretly spent, get this, $100,000
on what?
On clothing.
Oh, okay, I can
over
see
2
that.
years. But here's the kicker. She concealed the purchases. She went out and got a storage unit to hide it from him.
So how did she wear the clothes if she had
No
them
idea.
stored?
The husband, well, let's listen here. The husband became suspicious after noticing his wife frequently wore new, expensive outfits while their shared finances were tighter than expected. Despite his wife's claims that she was getting great deals or that the clothes were old, his concerns grew. The situation came to a head when he found a receipt for a storage unit in her name. When he confronted her, she admitted to renting the space to hide her extensive shopping from him. Well, at least she admitted it. Maybe they could have worked through this.
Maybe so.
You know? Upon visiting the unit together, so they even went to the unit together. They were holding hands as they got
yeah, I'm sure.
went to the unit. He was shocked to find it was filled with racks of new clothing. Many of them still had the tags on it. The sheer volume of purchases, which he estimated to be worth $100,000, that was the final straw. He explained that the issue was not just the money, but the deception involved. The act of renting a storage unit to hide her spending demonstrated a profound breach of trust that he felt was irreparable. He stated that her constant lying about her habits made him realize he could no longer trust her, and this is why they separated.
Okay.
So, Bridget, I love you, sweetheart. I don't have a storage unit, so don't worry about anything like that. So, wanted to end it with that story.
Okay.
Do you ever have a storage unit, Karen?
No. But I do like clothes.
But no storage unit.
No storage unit.
All right. Well, hey, that'll wrap it up. Stay tuned in on our website. We're going to get stuff updated this week. We were really busy last week with all of our flood efforts. And by the way, thank you again. Over 12 to 13,000 pounds of items were donated, by the way. We kind of added up the math.
That's amazing.
Did the number. Nearly $2,000, too, being able to help out and bless families in that area. We'll have more information on our socials and throughout the week on more ways that you can help and be involved. As I end every show, reminding you this morning we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. I promise somebody out there needs you. Karen, thanks.
Thank you. Y'all have a great week.